Nikki Haley, the former ambassador to the UN under Donald Trump, former Republican governor of South Carolina, she was Donald Trump's toughest challenger during the primary, in the sense that she secured the most votes other than Trump. She's been a significant Trump critic, but we all expected her to, and she did ultimately kiss the ring and say, yes, I'm supporting Donald Trump. However, she regularly seems disgusted with the things that Donald Trump actually says and does. So she went on Face the Nation this weekend and was asked, why are you supporting Trump, given all of these different disagreements and things that he's saying and things you don't like? And I'm going to translate her answer as, it's good for my political ambitions. It is mere naked egocentrism that is guiding Nikki Haley to support Donald Trump, despite the fact that we can all tell she thinks he's a doofus and doesn't like him on a personal level. Okay, so let's go to the first clip. See if you can unwind what she says here.
To be helpful. Donald Trump just finished a press conference, 3/4 of which was about grievances related to that past conviction related to alleged sexual assault. I know when you were campaigning, you said you had no reason really to question the findings of the jury related to the defamation case brought by E. Jean Carroll. I'm not asking about the specifics of the case, but if that's the focus of a press conference for a presidential candidate, A, is it the best use of his time? And what is the message to female voters to be going through this again?
Well, I think the focus for me is on policy. You know, I think
But he's the candidate.
No, and I've always said, look, if I thought Biden or Trump were great candidates, I wouldn't have run for president. I ran because I thought I could do a better job.
You don't think he's a good candidate?
I think he is the Republican nominee, and I think put him against Kamala Harris, who's the Democrat nominee. For me, it's not a question. Now, do I agree with his style? Do I agree with his approach? Do I agree with his communications? No. When I look at the policies and how they affect my family and how I think they're going to affect the country, that's where I go back and I look at the differences. I mean, these are the candidates we have been given. You know, you look at Kamala Harris and it's quite remarkable. She never had a debate. She never had a primary. She never had anyone vote for her. And they basically took her, and in 48 hours, they put her back out there, and she was this whole new candidate. But the reality is she has a record. Mm-hmm. The administration has a record. Trump has a record. And so neither are perfect. Neither are ideal. So
she is making this decision with one thing in mind. She sees that the Republicans who boisterously and loudly denounce Trump, people like Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney, there was Jeff Flake back during Trump's first term, there's Mitt Romney, you can go through the whole list here. They are either people with no political ambitions such that it doesn't matter to them what the consequences are of saying, yeah, I'm a Republican, but Trump is not for me. They are retiring from politics like Mitt Romney, or they end up losing and getting kicked out. I mean, look at what happened to Liz Cheney in her Republican primary because of the stand that she took against Donald Trump. Nikki Haley sees this, and Nikki Haley is young enough that she still does have political ambitions. It's not 75 or however old Mitt Romney is, independently wealthy, retiring, his career is over. What does he care? It is a different situation for Nikki Haley. And so we all know she finds Trump repulsive. We all know that she personally despises the disgusting attacks that Trump launched on her, bird brain and all this other stuff during the primary. We know that normal people wouldn't be called bird brain on a global stage by a guy for months and then go, that's the guy I'm voting for. Even if you don't like Kamala Harris, you might just say nothing. You might just stay out of it. But that is not what Nikki Haley is doing, because although she knows Trump is bad for the country, she doesn't care, because what's more important to her are her own political ambitions. And she's calculated, I just need to stay silent at this point with regard to my disgust with Trump. And then when Trump is gone, maybe it's 2028, maybe it's by January, maybe it's who the hell knows when, she wants to be in a position to still be in the good graces of the most number of Republicans that she can. Now, she was also asked about J.D. Vance saying all of these disgusting things about women. And she also acknowledged there that a lot of that stuff is not helpful. Not helpful is quite an understatement for what J.D. Vance is doing to Trump's candidacy.
We know that since Vice President Harris entered the race, the gap among women voters has grown to a now double-digit lead for her over Donald Trump, according to our CBS most recent survey. So how do they close that? Because just as recently as last week, J.D. Vance said he's disoriented and disturbed that the head of the most powerful teachers union in the country doesn't have a single child. He continues to say things that certainly are highlighted as being offensive to women. That is going to hurt, won't it, with female voters?
It's not helpful. It's not helpful. I mean,
is he an effective messenger for the policies you say they are stronger on?
I think that the policies, look, you can either look at style or you can look at substance. I choose as a voter to look at substance.
How you end up voting Trump with substance as your priority, I don't know.
The style, I will say.
What's the substance of that, though?
The substance is cutting taxes, making housing more affordable, immigration, national security. That's the substance. The style is, no, it is not helpful to talk about whether women have children or whether they don't. It's not helpful to say any of those things that are personality driven or anything else. I have said that, and I will continue to say to Republicans, stop it. That's not helpful.
Cut it out, guys. And I'm voting for all of you.
You know, if you want to talk about things, stick with policy. Americans are smart. They don't need all of this other noise to distract them. They just want to know how you're going to help them. And they're, you know, what I would suggest to every American, look at the records of each of them. You've got some stark contrast there. You know, Harris was not strong on the border. Trump was strong on the border. Harris wanted to eliminate fracking. Now she's taking that back. But energy production was not as strong as it was under the Trump administration.
It's at a record high right now, actually. But when
Yeah, it's actually at a record high, as Margaret Brennan points out there. So listen, this interview is a stark reminder of the reality, and this is not a defense of Republicans, that a ton of the prominent Republicans that are publicly supporting Trump don't like the guy. They think he's bad for the country, but they don't care. And we have to remember that. They can't then be rewarded later when they say, now I'm running for something and Trump was a mistake and all these different things. This is the opportunity to actually have the testicular fortitude, ovarian fortitude, to say, this is bad. I'm a conservative Republican, whatever that means at this point to them, who knows? And I'm just not going to vote for it. And this is the wrong thing for the country. And it's been the wrong thing for our party. We've lost since Trump eked out a win in 2016. We've essentially lost everything. That's not what Nikki Haley is willing to do. And we should remember that. Are you having trouble sleeping or staying asleep? Sleep is one of the most important foundations of mental and physical health. And our sponsor, Beam's formulation called Dream, is a delicious nighttime hot cocoa drink with melatonin clinically proven to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Melatonin can also help correct circadian rhythm disturbances, get your sleep schedule back on track, for example, in jet lag situations. Dream comes in great tasting flavors like mint chocolate chip, chocolate, peanut butter, sea salt caramel. I love the cinnamon cocoa version. No sugar added, sweetened with monk fruit, just 15 calories per serving. Dream hot cocoa it's just a nice way to wind down before bed. It's hot and flavorful. It's not overly sweet. It's a soothing way to relax about an hour before going to bed. Go try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder and get 40% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman. The link is in the description.